Apparently, I'm live. Fizzy, 360, Wolfie. Are you still here? If you are, I shall explain to you why this was scheduled for the distant future. I'll just wait and see if he's still in here. Let me zoom in a bit on my chat, because my MacBook is small, it's old, and it's far away from me. But it's a valid question. Why would someone schedule something so far away into the future? Alright, mainly chatting. I haven't played this game much compared to American Truck Simulator, so I thought that I would do a little bit of Euro Truck Simulator, made by the same people. Pretty much the same graphics, the same everything. Game's only a couple of years older than American Truck Simulator. Launch game. I don't remember a time when I was younger playing computer games where you'd have 15 different launchings. It's just play the bloody game. So we shall do that. I believe we lost Fizzy Wolf. When anybody else comes in, if they do, because my streamings have been, well, not really all over the place. I've just been cutting back a lot, and I've been keeping it predominantly to the weekends, and then within the weekend, I don't really have a schedule. I had a schedule for a year and a half. A very strict schedule for a year and a half. It did diddly ass fucking shit. So if I go all over the place, you give it about a half hour, 40 minutes, I could promise you I'll get just as many people in the stream as when I was properly scheduled. So I just treat these as a very, very casual thing, and you kind of have to. 16,000 plus subs, you get 3-4 people in a stream consistently for a year and a half. You can't ever expect much more to come of it. So at that point, you just got to do it because you enjoy the couple of people that residually come and watch you all the time, and leave it at that. So let's continue the game. I might get into some ATS. I am using a trainer. Kiss my ass, I don't care. It's for like no fatigue, no damage, just because I want to mess around a little bit. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. When I play on my own, I don't usually bother with this, but I just get so distracted. I do the unlimited fuel and all that kind of stuff. Anyhow, if there's somebody in here, the reason I schedule it ahead of time, to keep it real simple, is when you go and you stream, you're forced to put a schedule unless you want to do like one on the spot. Here's what I mean by that, because that may not make sense to you. Let me try and elaborate on what I'm saying. When you go to live stream, you have two options. You can either schedule a stream. Oh, hey, Fizzy. You want me to explain to you why I do the whole super far future thing? Are you new to the channel, by the way? I don't recall ever seeing you in my live streams. And with how little people I get in my live streams, I'm pretty good at remembering everybody. Just going on a little random trip here. Euro Truck Simulator, driving a Mercedes-Benz. I just want to make sure that he's there, because I almost started explaining the whole thing, and then if he's not there and I gotta say it again, whatever. Alright, I'll assume he's listening. When you go to live stream, you can either stream now or schedule a stream. Okay. If you stream now, you gotta title it. You gotta tag it. You gotta playlist it. You gotta do all this junk. Okay? Every time that you stream. It's annoying. But if you schedule the stream, what'll end up happening is it'll say, hey, do you want to recall all the settings from your prior stream? All your tags, your title, the game you were playing. literally everything. It copies and pastes all the settings from your prior stream. I'm a lazy bastard, so I do the schedule a stream. The problem is when you do that, it forces you to pick a time and a date. And what used to happen with me, because my life is very dynamic and I can't always commit to a specific time, is when I would just go and post a stream that I would use at a later date, it defaults automatically your stream to 15 minutes from the moment you created it. YouTube says, hey, 15 minutes. So I literally had people, I know there's not a lot of people in the stream, but I'm just saying, over the course of a year and a half, I've had quite a few people literally sitting around for those 15 minutes. They thought I was the one scheduling it, and I wasn't paying attention to it, and I didn't know YouTube was doing that. So I would get people, oh man, you're late. I was like, what do you mean I'm late? I'm on time. I schedule or I stream when I can stream. There is no late or early or anything. I don't have a schedule. And people are like, bro, man, your thing said 9:15. It's 9:25. Oh, fuck what YouTube says. Go by what I'm saying. So I just decided, you know what? If YouTube is going to force me to schedule my stream in order to be able to recall my prior settings, I'm going to put that bitch like 3-4 years in the future, which is the furthest away that you can do it. That way, I would know for sure. There's nobody crazy enough that wants to wait around for 3 years in my chat for me to live stream. Get it? So people would just be like, oh, I guess he's not here. And they would just disappear. Which brings me back to my other complaint about YouTube streaming. A lot of construction here. When I go and schedule a stream, or I decide I'm going to start streaming, and I'm in my little window here and I start titling and tagging stuff, I'll sometimes get 4 or 5 people coming in going, hey man, how you doing today? And I'm like, looking at my settings, I'm like, I'm not live. How the fuck do these people know I'm in here? And I think what's happening is it's notifying people that I may potentially be live streaming. So it's just a really fucked up thing. Twitch is a much better platform in my opinion for streaming. But I got 16,000 people on YouTube and I can barely get 10 people in here. You can imagine with the 100 people I have on Twitch, there's nobody that watches me there. 99% of the time I stream on Twitch, I'm the only one in there. It's like I'm doing a regular upload. I just end up talking to myself for an hour, hour and a half. So that's why I never really stuck with Twitch. I don't have enough of a actual presence on there. I can't even receive donations on Twitch because I can't even average 3 fucking viewers a stream. Right? And that's how you become a Twitch affiliate. A lot of people will say, oh, come on, man, it's super easy to be a Twitch affiliate. Well, maybe for the average person, but not if you're me. Not with my personality, not with how I speak, not with how I play games. Absolutely not, because I've been doing it for a year and a half, and I can barely average 3 people on Twitch. My average, I think, is 2 people. And I'm not even sure if that includes me as part of that too. So it could just be me and another person. But I do it because it's fun. A lot of people say, how can you be so enthusiastic streaming? They're like, dude, no offense, you seem like a nice guy. I've been watching you for a long time, but there's nobody in here. You're going off as if there's 1,000 people in here. And I'm like, well, that's the thing. You have to. You cannot change your attitude based on how many people in your stream, because now that comes across as fake. Which is why I left for a second, because I was like, is he really not streaming for 3 years? Yeah. But does that make sense now? So to quickly recap, because I do get distracted when I'm driving and all that. And I did leave Venice, Italy. And I just went through Milan, in case you give a shit. And we're going to Switzerland. I'm just kind of cruising around, just chatting, very casual. So that's what it is. Actually, you know what? We's gonna do this shit. We's gonna do it. We're gonna do it. Absolutely. You asked, you shall receive. So here it is right here. When you go to stream on YouTube, this is what it looks like. You can schedule a stream. Or you can just go to stream. And if you just go to stream, that's like right away in the moment, giddy up, let's go. I don't know if it's going to screw up. Yeah. Well, okay, so maybe it does. I remember making that title. That was about a month ago when I was at 15K. Now I'm at 16K. So this is what it looks like. And then you go to edit. I mean, it'll remember some stuff, your playlist and all that kind of shit, your tags. But then that's live in the moment, right? But you're not forced to put a schedule in. What I really like about, no, for the love of God. Oh, this is this one here. Epic fail. When you go here, schedule stream, see, that's the part I wanted to show you. Depending on what stream I want to use, I can go back to a bunch of my old streams. Like, look at that, like a bunch of my old streams. So if I'm like, oh, I feel like doing my baseball, I can just click on my baseball. Resident Evil. You kind of get the idea? So that's what it looks like compared to the other one. It just kind of throws you in there. And I think it just does the last one, which isn't really a bad thing. But this is what it looks like when you go to schedule one. And again, when you pick on it, it forces you to pick a time. So that's why I decided to be like, well, fuck the time. 2024, I could promise you no one's sticking around. And there you have it. So again, this is kind of new, where it appears like when you click on stream and you do it up once, it'll always recall your last one, but you don't have to schedule it. But sometimes ahead of time, I like to change the title, maybe a couple of the games I'm going to be playing, but I don't want to stream right away. And then it'll sit there in the thing here, in the list, in the scheduled streams. Then I can click on it when I'm ready to go, and then giddy up, and that's it. Yes. So like right now, this was a scheduled stream, but we're live right now. As you can see, there's two people. It's you and me. And that's how famous I am. William, one of my moderators. There we go. So when you click on this, what was I going to say? I got confused. Oh, yeah. So what I really like about the list is I can then sort of like leave it. But before I even go live, what'll end up happening is I'll come here. This is what I see on my MacBook. You know, I'll be like, oh, look at this. And then I'll start, going to edit, and I'll start putting in a title, category, gaming. Oh, let's put it in a playlist. I haven't live streamed in a long time. Let's put it there so it's all well organized. And I'll start doing this kind of thing, right? And then out of nowhere, I'll have people, just like you can see what I see, start typing to me. And I'm like, where'd you come from? Meanwhile, the button up here isn't even live. Like, we're not even live. And people come in. That doesn't bother me. Come in by all means. But then sometimes I feel bad because I will leave. This is now a pending scheduled stream, but I'll have people coming in chit-chatting. Hey, man, where you been? It's been a while. Please tell me I don't have to sit here for 3 years. And I'm like, how the fuck did you even know I was in there? Anyways, enough of that shit. Enough of that bullshit. Again, we are tapping into Switzerland in Europe. Last time I checked, it was a part of Europe. And that's essentially what's going on. A whole lot of not much, really. Just casual simulation games, which is when I live stream, I think more the direction I want to head into. Quite frankly, I don't think anything I ever do on my live streams is ever going to change the fact that I'm always going to be an under 10 viewer live stream. That's just the way it is. My YouTube channel garners me between $500 and $1,000 a month, so I can't fully complain. Right? I'm still getting some decent money. But the streams are shit. I don't even make a nickel when I'm streaming, 40, 50, 60 hours a week. I'm lucky to make $1. Unless I get, of course, like a donation or something. And you've been busy dealing with school-oriented nightmares, yeah. And I haven't been streaming. Like I said, I streamed for a year and a half. 2-3 times a day. I would stream over 20 times a week, and I was always very consistent with my schedule. By the way, I asked you earlier, Fizzy360. Are you new? Because I do not believe I recognize your name. So anyways, I started thinking to myself, what are games that have really high replay value? Apart from when AAA games come out, like your Marvel Avengers, your Witchers, your Grand Theft Autos, and all that kind of stuff. Once you talk about those for a few days, people get the idea of the game, the hype is dead. What's next, right? What can you fall back onto? Sports games, those kinds of games tend to have infinite replay value, right? A game like this, yeah, it's probably boring to most people. You're just driving around, it's always the same shit. But they're simulation games, right? So to me, they have the highest replay value, so I kind of default back onto those. So like a game like SnowRunner, you know, Forza Horizon, even something like The Sims, or, you know, Microsoft Flight Simulator, American Truck Simulator, Skater XL, a game I haven't played in a while. Those are all kind of like physics, simulation-like games, and they just have infinite replay value, right? Still have 20 plus days left until I go back. Right? You mean you're on vacation right now? Yeah, so I've been kind of dropping it from 2 to 3 times a day to like once a week. Sometimes I don't even bother streaming at all. So, but I've been very honest, right? It's not because I'm butthurt, not at all. It's because in the end, I have an ulterior motive. It's all about the Benjamins, baby. It's about that money, right? I've shared this with people a bazillion times. It's no secret. I am on disability, and I have been for half my life. And within 5 fucking months, I managed to half replace my disability with fucking YouTube, and I have consistently done so for the past 2 years that I've been monetized. So I know that I'm capable of doing something. I'll never be the next PewDiePie, and that's okay. I'll never be the next Markiplier, and that's okay. I'll never be the next Jacksepticeye, and that's okay. But if I can be 1% of those motherfuckers, there's not a goddamn chance in hell I'm not 1% of Markiplier. 1%! I'm being pretty fucking humble. That's all I want is 1%. And I'm not kidding about that number, by the way. If you multiplied 1% by how much they're earning and doing, 1% would make me go to heaven. You see what I'm saying? The amount of money that I would get if I was literally making 1% of what they're making. So that's why I do this shit. I'm just angry that I waited 15 fucking years to get into this. Because it's such a cutthroat business, right? Smash. I'm on a mobile, and when someone schedules a streams or premieres it, lets me know on the subscribers and homepage. I can set the reminder, and if I click on the stream, it'll put me in, shall I say. Oh, okay, waiting room where I can comment. I'm not new. I just don't comment. I have been watching for quite some time now. Well, thank you for speaking today, Creeper. I mean, Wolf. I'm just fucking around. You should know I'm a smartass. But yeah. Yeah, it's like a waiting room, essentially. And again, that doesn't bother me, but I feel bad for the few people that do watch me. They come in, they're like, hey, how's it? I have a feeling he's not here, right? So, but that's why I do the schedule thing. Maybe next time I'll try just a regular stream without a schedule or whatever. Anyhow, nothing too crazy here. We're in Switzerland. I just thought it would have been a different scenery than North America. Unlock a few of the question marks on the map. That helps me be able to buy more trucks, more garages, and that kind of stuff. I'm not actually literally doing a job right now. European 18-wheelers are very different than North American ones. The engine tends to sit underneath you. Like, it's very... Like, you know what I mean? There's no, like, hood kind of thing. It's a very, very different style. Oh, DAF trucks. Excellent. I don't think I have a DAF truck. So we'll go in, take a look at them really quick. Maybe I'll fire up some Flight Simulator. I love that game. Have you played for... Yes, I have. I mean, not on stream, but I have played the game. Yeah, I'm all into that kind of stuff. SnowRunner, your farming simulators, uh, The Sims. I mean, I'm into everything. But again, for the sake of streams, for fallback games, this is probably the kind of shit I'm going to keep with. And maybe only do it, like I said, maybe only once or twice a week. I've been really focusing on my guitar playing. I've been playing a lot of guitar. I treated myself to another guitar. That'll never make me money. But life isn't always about money. As desperate as I am to make it on YouTube, just big enough to fully pull the plug from my disability. At the same time, I like to do shit that's fun. I don't want to just treat this as a job, right? Hello, Charlie. How's it going? Wonder what happened to Ghost Pilot. Yeah, I don't know. You know, now that we're talking about Ghost Pilot, somebody that I remember. Yeah, SnowRunner's a lot of fun. How you doing there, Charlie? Yeah, I'll talk to you about something. Something that's really intriguing that, for the few people that are in here, you might find interesting, or maybe you won't. What you might find interesting is the following. So my YouTube channel, slowly but surely it's growing. And I've consistently been making what I consider to be a good chunk of money in comparison to what I normally get paid every month, right? Obviously, if we compare myself to Markiplier or PewDiePie, I'll just want to jump out the window. We don't want to do that. They make in 6 hours, what I make in a whole month. So let's not do that. But it's going really well. And I've now been on YouTube for 2.5 years. I hit 16,000 subscribers, or active for 2 years, 2.5 years. I've been on YouTube since like day one, but I never did anything. All I did was watched other people do shit. And as I stream, oh, snap! He's here! What the fuck? Now that's creepy shit. Wow. Yeah, I wonder what happened to him. And lo and behold, he's in here. Holy sweet pineapple. Yeah, SnowRunner's very relaxing. Watching this page right now is not very relaxing, but speaking of the ghost, what I wanted to say is over the 1.5 years that I've been streaming very consistently, at the end of my streams, I'm able to see if there's been new people brought to my channel that have subscribed to my channel as a result of that stream. And believe it or not, it might be hard to believe because I only average like 4 to 10 people a stream, depending on the day of the week and all that kind of stuff. Between 4 and 10 is what I average on a stream. But I'll average sometimes 1, 2, 3, 4 new subscribers. So a lot of times, half the people that are in my stream, based on my analytics, are people that have never seen me before. Or they have, but it's the first time they decided to subscribe. And so over the past 1.5 years, I've figured out that from my live streaming alone, are you ready for this? Guys, girls, or whatever, are you ready for this shocking revelation? This is, like, pretty creepy. I have garnered roughly 1,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel from my live streams alone. These are people that know I love to chat a lot and that I'm all over the place with my games, and they felt okay going, you know what? Sure, why not? Let's subscribe. 1,000 people have subscribed to this channel because of the live streams. But it's always the same 4 to 10 people in my streams. Literally, mathematically, 99.5% of the people that subscribe to my channel because of my live streams actually end up never actually coming back to the live streams. So my question is always, why the fuck even bother? I would rather have 15,000 people on my channel right now, not 16,000. I don't subscribe to anybody I don't watch. If I don't watch you, I don't subscribe to you. It's just that simple. So I have to admit, when it comes to, the psychology of that, it is pretty intriguing. Because as time goes on, I get a little bit, not a lot more, but a little bit more views per month sometimes, not really. I'm kind of doing just as well as I was about 1.5 years ago, to be honest with you. I haven't like exponentially gone through the roof. There's always like a new video that kind of goes semi-viral or two, and they kind of keep me afloat making all this money because most of the stuff I upload gets shit for views. Absolute shit. I'm nickeling and diming on YouTube. And that's the part that's kind of frustrating. 20 views, 30 views, 40 views, 350,000 views. 100 views, 2,000 views, 50 views, 250,000 views. It's so like all over the place. And it's those small one-hit wonder videos that I upload on YouTube that have made me over $15,000 on YouTube. So ultimately, in the end, you can look at a guy like me and say, I don't know if that's what I want to be, right? Having 16,000 people on my channel with fucking 4 people in the live stream, but I've also made over $15,000 in 2 years. I'm pretty sure most of you would love an extra $15,000. You see what I'm saying? And so that's why I guess I'm so enthusiastic, even though the live streams are absolute shit, will always probably be shit. You are currently playing Watch Dogs Legion. I like Watch Dogs Legion. It was a pretty good game. Once I was finished with the story, it was one of those things where I was just done. I wasn't really compelled to keep playing. Predominantly because the PS5 version did 4K 30 FPS and didn't even bother including a 60 FPS option. I think there is now, but at the time there wasn't, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not using up the very little internal SSD storage I have to fucking do that. All right, so what I'm going to do now is not necessarily anything overly exciting. I might do a little bit of Flight Simulator because I own this game, whereas Flight Simulator I don't. Now you're probably thinking, what? What do you mean you don't own it? You pirated it? No, it's called Game Pass. I paid $1 again for 3 months, 90 days of Game Pass. And I figure, well, I might as well get my money's worth. But I want to show you a few funny things about the game. Now, this is pretty demanding game, but whatever. For half of the Watch Dogs Legion story, I played as police officers, yep, and Albion guards just because they had unlimited handcuffs. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's a pretty cool game. It's just, I've got so many games on Steam, so many games on my Switch, so many games on my PlayStation. There's only so many hours in a day. I play guitar, I work out, I walk, I jog. I just don't have fucking time to be playing everything out there that's cool. And Watch Dogs just didn't have enough. Not to get all... I don't even know what the word is. I don't even know what the word is. Where is it? Did you see that thing with Ollie London? Did you happen to see the video I made? Where the guy wanted to change his race. He went from being a white dude to a Korean. You see that shit? In the news, that actually brings me back to a point I wanted to talk about. I know there's only a couple of people left in here now. In the stream, I kind of wish there was like 10 or 15 people right now so I could get a little bit more of a variety in opinions. But, not the end of the world. Yes. Yes. Now, I don't want to do this too much right now because generally speaking, I just don't like doing it too much. I don't want to start anything. But I brought it up, so whatever. So that's a pretty messed up thing. Okay, it's checking for updates. Yeah, I can't go back to my desktop. Son of a gun. I mean, I could do... Yeah, this guy. This guy. Racial transition surgery. I made a video on it. This ain't World of Warcraft, right? Where you can pay to change your race. That's what he looked like before, and that's what he looks like now. No, I'm not here to talk about this all day. What I'm curious about is this. When you watch someone on YouTube that you follow, how do I ask this? Does it bother you, whoever, When you watch a person that's predominantly known for gaming, predominantly known for unboxings, or predominantly known for comedy, like predominantly known for one thing, one genre, but once in a while they have another playlist and they just tap into something completely different. So a YouTuber that's multi-topic kind of thing, does that drive you nuts? I'm just curious because on my channel, where I kind of went wrong but not really, is I kind of YouTube the way all the bigwigs do. So if you look at like Boogie2988, your Markipliers again, your PewDiePies. PewDiePie can talk about whatever the fuck you want. PewDiePie actually talked about Ollie London, the guy that I just showed you right now that wanted to do a transracial transformation. Rich from Review Tech USA, who's about to hit 1 million subscribers, did the same thing. So he's a tech guy, likes to talk about video games, but he also likes to talk about, like, you know, some drama stuff, like what I just showed you there, you know? But I find that people that predominantly do that tend to be big, massive YouTubers. Have you ever noticed that? There's no small guy like me that usually does that. They usually stay very focused on one thing and they don't do anything else. If they do Let's Plays, they do Let's Plays. They don't do reviews. They don't do game updates. They don't do Batman videos. They don't make fun of people that want to change their race. They just stay in their supposed lane that they're known for, and they don't veer off the beaten path. I find it interesting that only the bigwigs on YouTube do that. And I wonder why that is. Is it because they're so big? People are so invested in that character on YouTube that they just don't give a shit what they talk about. They want to watch them, right? PewDiePie is the prime example of that. PewDiePie is PewDiePie. He fucking talks about anything. 1 minute he's running around blowing up sheep in Minecraft, and the next second he's, live streaming Call of Duty, and then in the next one he's making fun of people that want to change their race. And I always told myself from day one, if there's people out there that are into that, just talking about whatever they feel they want to talk about, why not do that? Why restrict yourself? But it always seems like people tell me, oh man, if you want to do some Batman shit, you should make a channel on just that. If you want to start talking about drama and political shit, you should do that on another channel. Don't divide your base on your channel with gaming. And I'm like, but all the bigwigs do it. Just see what I'm saying? So I was curious to know, for the few people that are in here, does it bother you if you follow a YouTuber that you predominantly know for one thing, if they veer off what they normally do and talk about something completely random and different? So long as they playlist it properly and they keep their videos well organized on the channel, does that bother you, and do you rather they stick to one topic per channel? That's what I'm kind of wondering from people. Because I have been kind of tempted to open up some different channels, potentially. Yeah, this time we're going to start off from Darwin. We'll just go in that direction. Set the arrival. Yes. Like that. We'll do that one because I really do like that plane. Robin Cap 10. Let's just kind of cruise around. It's not like I can hit a cloud, right? It's a little bit more laid back, this game, than a game like Trucking. Reminds me of how the Vanos crew will play together and rarely play alone. It doesn't really cope with me when they play alone. Oh, okay, so what you're saying is... Hey, Captain Greyhound, how's it going? So what you're saying is when you're used to seeing someone do something, you don't like it too much when they break away from that. So if you're known to watching, a channel where there's always two people playing together on their channel, and then all of a sudden, there's only one guy on there, you don't like that as much. Right, so it's like with me, I'm known for video game updates and playing the random games that come out, but then I randomly go off and make a video where I'm like, yeah, no, you can't change your race. You can't do that. I'm curious if sometimes people could be bothered by that. That's what I'm bluntly asking. It's probably not going to affect my decision, but I am just curious as to how people, because I'm a YouTuber as well, like just you. Like I'm also a person on the outside looking into other people's channels as well. And me, honestly, I don't care. If I like someone, I don't give a shit what they're talking about. Right? Like it just... No, would you shut up? I thought I got rid of that. Let's go into here and change the audio settings. Well, it's like with me, like, you know, I enjoy doing my Batman videos. No one's ever told me, bro, man, you should totally do that on a separate channel. You know what I mean? And I don't think I would want to necessarily, but there. I don't need voices. We'll leave it on 7 just to say I can kind of hear it a little bit. You never have? I don't really know what to say to that, to be honest. It happens sometimes. Took me a while when I was a teenager to get my first one. Here we go again. There we go. That made a difference. Waiting that little bit. I also have the difficulty on a little bit higher. Why don't you think so? Whoa. Mama. Okay, well, before we get back into Captain Greyhound's love life, William, the blunt question. Do you think it's bad when you're a small YouTuber, like myself, to talk about different topics on your channel? To be sometimes doing an unboxing, to sometimes be talking about something political, to sometimes throw up a cringy Batman impression video, and then to go back to talking about, you know, video games predominantly. Right? Or do you feel like it would be better to separate those topics into different channels? And again, remember, the most successful YouTubers out there don't just stick with one topic, and they all do it from their main channel. Yeah, sometimes I wonder if I separate them, but I don't know. I get the politics thing, because the politics thing can really divide your base, and that can kind of, you know what I mean, if you remain sort of like unbiased or non-partisan, as they call it, that can, see, why is it doing that? I don't think it's bringing me where I'm supposed to go. Let me just... Oh, that's what it's doing. Really? Don't mind me, let me just get up. Yeah, the pink will always show you the true north. But we're kind of wanting to go in this direction. There we go. Yeah, I'm not good at flying games either, but they're pretty easy in the sense of you just pick your setting. But the graphics are really nice. I have the online thing on. You know, like the online capability. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to end up trying to do, maybe. I don't know. Is maybe just stick to what I've been doing. Kind of keeping everything on one channel, and if it bothers some people, well then I was clearly never the YouTuber for them to begin with, right? is how I look at it, because you can't please everybody, right? Yeah, I'm mad at IO Interactive too. What games would I recommend on Steam? Ugh. It's hard for me to think. It depends what genre of game you're looking for. But yeah, this looks pretty good. One of the main things I've been having a problem with Flight Simulator is a lot of the random spikes in the terrain. So as you're looking above or down below from above, everything looks nice and photorealistic just about. And you could be thinking to yourself, wow, this looks like I'm in Australia right now. Crikey! But I promise you, if we get down closer to the ground, and that's what I'm going to do right now, you're going to start seeing some things that you're not going to like. And you'll be like, what is that? I mean, apart from the terrible frame dip. That's because I'm streaming the game at 1440p. And I've got my camera on. So that really does not help. I can run the game better on my own. Yeah, I know, Pennywise. Yeah, my plane is going a little berserk because I'm going too fast. My goodness. Let's try that again. Let's shut down the engine. Oh, there's a... Yeah, I thought you meant the... Oh yeah, there is a band. Yeah. I'm not into the band, Pennywise. Or the brand, for that matter. Anything that's only worth a penny. Not really into it. I want to show you what I don't like about Flight Simulator. From above again. Looks pretty good. When you start getting really close to the road, you'll start seeing some really blotchy, blurry things. You'll start noticing some spikes in the road. Look at that. Look at that right there. What the hell is all that? Look at those spikes in the terrain right there underneath my, like, boom. Now, I'm not saying in real life you can't have a hill that's there. But all these homes look pretty good. Those trees look pretty good. And then all of a sudden, that little spike in the terrain, it looked all blotchy and out of place. Oh yeah, there will be at some point, I'm sure. But anyways, this is what bothers me about Microsoft Flight Simulator. And nobody ever else talks about this. See? Look at the big spikes in the terrain and all the blurry textures when you get closer to the ground. Now over here it's not too bad, but some of the roads. Hello 882 dude, how's it going? Anyhow, just showcasing why I appreciate playing this game on Game Pass, but why it's hard for me to want to buy it. The wings? Oh, because of the white and yellow? Like Pittsburgh Penguins or something? That's good. Are you new to the channel? 882 dude? Anyhow, so that's what I wanted to share with you about this game, is that I really do like it. It's a cool game. When you fly up high in the air and you turn on the online functionality, what'll end up happening is you'll be able to get the photorealistic satellite images from Google Images, and it'll be automatically implemented in your game. And so from far above, when looking down below, things will look photorealistic like that. And it'll look like real terrain. But when you get down close to it, it doesn't always look that pretty. And there's a lot of spikes in the terrain, but it does seem to be a little bit random. Australia. What do you think reminds you of NHL? Because it's white, like for the ice? Like it just kind of reminded you of hockey? Oh, I have a hard time with recommending games. I'm just very much into simulation games, American Truck Sim, Euro Truck Sim, Skater XL. They're all super cheap games that I incredibly adore, that I could play forever. This game can be a blast for $1 for 90 days on Game Pass for PC. Kind of can't go wrong with that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, sometimes I get weird things like that, too, where I could be playing something, looking at something, and out of nowhere, for some unknown reason, apart from being embedded in my subconscious, it'll remind me of something completely unrelated. Yeah. But no, the roads seem to be pretty good here. Again, for the most part, when I stream now, even though that won't be too often, I kind of just like going to calming, relaxing games where there's technically no real objective. But again, when a new game comes out, and I have the money, of course, I will absolutely still keep up with that. Sort of like a live first look, right, when games come out. Like right now, there's Monster Hunter Stories 2 that just came out on Switch, but I'm kind of struggling a little bit to get the funds for that, so I haven't bothered picking it up. But I've played the demo, though, and it's a lot of fun. Yeah, Skater XL is awesome. So those are the kind of games that, if I have the money, maybe, and if my computer can run it, I have to start saving up my money for a computer. By some miracle that I don't spend too much, and that I still remain decently making some cash on YouTube, I'll probably get it. Otherwise, I probably won't bother. I don't want to do any first-person shooters on console. So even though I have a PS5, it's got to be mouse and keyboard for me. I know Call of Duty supports mouse and keyboard on the PS5, which is really nice. For Airsoft, yeah, that could be fun. Are you going to get Battlefield? I mean, it looks good. I just miss the old days where it could be played offline with bots. I mean, the 2005 game, which was the last one by EA, entitled Battlefield 2, there was no campaign. The whole game was you playing against bots. The single player game was the multiplayer game played offline with bots with no internet connections. There was no origin, there was nothing. You got your incremental patches right from EA. You downloaded them. There was no having to sign in to fuck all. It was a beautiful goddamn time to be gaming in the early 2000s. Now it's complete and utter shit. It's a shit fest. Let me just pause this for a moment. May want to take Battlefield 2042 with a grain of salt because it could always be downgraded. Oh, yeah. Yeah, only yeah. Right. So for the few people that are in here, do you find a game like this relaxing? Is this something you guys would feel you would get bored of very quickly? See, the roads are a little bit wonky. You could see the trucks are kind of not lined up. There's some anomalies in the middle of the road. Some big blotches. There's some spikes right there. Right there. Boom. Random patch terrain spiked on the road. And that's the kind of stuff I was talking about. You could just tell it doesn't look natural looking at the road right now. The cars are disappearing. They're driving all over the place. I know this is maybe not the way most people would be playing. Look at that. Look at all the cars driving into each other. Come on now. You can't tell me that's not immersive braking. Yeah, but nobody would ever really fly like that. I don't care. It's a simulator, right? I fly the game the way I want, but look at that. Again, most people won't spend their time doing what I'm doing. Maybe I'm just a fucking weirdo. But this is how I like to enjoy my games when I fly. I like to be right above people, like a hawk, and just kind of see what's going on. And right now I see a lot of wacky shit on the road going on. And it's very immersive braking with all the big blotches all over the road. I mean, I've seen Australia. That's not what it looks like on the road. Right? It's not. Yeah, I want to get a PC so I can get 1942. Isn't 1942 the old game? I have 1942, Battlefield 1942, and it's an old game from 2001. Little protein shake. i5. I'm saving up for like an i9 or an i10. 32 gigs of RAM, but I also do a lot of video editing, streaming, and all that, right? So it's very important for me. Right now, my streaming software and my camera alone take up 12% of my CPU. And I've got an i7, but it's an old one, right? So me, when it comes to computer components, I have to be a little bit snobby. And I kind of have to get the best. So I've already spent $1,000 on my graphics card last March. I'm holding on to that. And I'm probably going to have to dump another $2,000. I just bought a $700 SSD. So yeah. Anyhow, you can see what's going on here. With the road and the cars disappearing, they're all driving side by side with each other. Then they vanish into thin air like you just saw there, like MH378 air flight. It's very, very buggy. And the game has now been out for a year. So when people ask me if I'd recommend them buying Microsoft Flight Simulator, it really depends what you're looking for out of this game. I heard there will be 2 uses for bots in 2042. 1 to fill up servers and 2... Right. Yeah, I don't believe it's going to be offline. Well, now that brings on another topic of discussion. Offline can mean 2 things. Offline, as in you're not online with other people competing competitively. But there can also be offline where you're on your own, but you're still required to be connected to the internet. So there's offline, which is pretty obvious. It means offline. But is it offline with an internet connection or offline with it? Perfect example, a game like Chivalry, Medieval Warfare 2. Game that just came out a few weeks ago. That has what's called offline single player. But you need an internet connection in order to access that content. So to me, it's not truly offline. Right? Because you need to be online. Get it? To me, offline is just that. You're offline. So they shouldn't have called it offline. They should have called it single player mode or whatever. Solo mode. Don't call it an offline mode if it requires you to be online. It just sounds fucking stupid. Makes no sense whatsoever. Oh, and the main reason I'm believing it's going to need internet, aren't they planning on making it a live service game where it's like evolving like Fortnite? That's the direction that the Assassin's Creed games want to take on. That's going to require a persistent internet connection. I highly doubt there's going to be an option to opt out of the live service. Anyhow, you get the idea with the roads that I've been trying to show you for Microsoft Flight Simulator, all the cars and trucks. Look at that. Those cars and trucks just drove right into each other. Look at that. All those cars smashed, are all driving right literally into each other. That is the absolute funniest shit I have seen. It's absolute madness. This isn't how people drive in Australia. I mean, I know they're wild and all that, but this isn't doing the people justice. Everybody playing chicken, driving 100 miles an hour, driving right through each other, and then disappearing and vanishing. They're probably in Beijing now. So that's why I'm reluctant to buy this game at full price. Because of everything I've shown you about this game in the last 10 minutes. Yeah, Hitman 2. Even 3, there's some parts of it that bothered me. Yeah, they said it's online. Yeah. Again, if you fly up in the air, you stay away from the roads and you just focus on the scenery and the trees like I'm doing right now, and you just want to feel the aircrafts and you just want to cruise around like this. You want to cruise around like that from the cockpit and go, oh, wow, look at that. That's what Australia looks like. Oh, that's pretty cool. And you just want to do that casually. This is the game for you. If you want to sneak up on people from above and get close to them, don't do it. You'll see cars driving through each other, vanishing into thin air. Right? There's a lot of places in the game to fly where there's no roads. I find it's the roads that are terrible. The buildings are pretty good. The trees are really good. Like, look at the graphics here. Everything's really nice, even up close. It's well done. It's the traffic that's just completely botched. And I've proved it. Because a lot of people in life, what do? When they critique something, they talk a lot of shit, but they never back it up. I just showed you 10 minutes of live footage as to why this game is a hot mess. It's really hard to defend that. Later, Captain. Have you visited South Park and Flight Simulator yet? Or the town South Park based in... No. I don't think I have. I wonder if there's an Easter egg. But again, this game is a lot of fun. But it needs a lot of polishing. Like an incredible amount of polishing. See, look at the buildings. They look nice. They look fine. It's roads and traffic that look completely... Anyways, I've already said it enough. But all in all, I can spend a long time at a time between this and like your American truck simulators and all that, just kind of cruising around. I can really spend an awful lot of time playing these games. I like the cockpit view, and that's why I chose this airplane. There's not a lot of physical components in the plane that'll block your view. But there's a lot of planes where you get like a lot of the, the plane getting in the way. You can't quite see properly. So that's why I usually do the external. Did you fly over where you are from? Me, no. Hey, ancient... You, I remember. You've been in here before. But yeah, I could do this for a long time. Switch out different planes. Pick a random spot in the game. And just kind of just fly. I normally like to add a little bit more clouds, though. I wanted to do clear skies for the first time. I usually do scattered. Look at how much that's changed. Look at how much that's added to the immersion of the game. Just by doing that, we'll add a little bit of precipitation. And all of a sudden, it looks a lot cooler. The clouds are done wonderfully. The trees, the overall scenery. It's a spectacle. Just don't look down at the roads, and you'll be okay. Lake Michigan? No, not that I'm aware of. I mean, I've flown over quite a few places. I tend to stick to the Middle East, Australia, Africa, China, Japan. Yes, you can. Yep. So how have you been there? Ancient 420 Babylon. Yeah, see, there's a button right here, live. You could click on that and it'll sync everything up live. But the clouds add so much immersion. Like, the whole time I've been playing, I left it on clear skies, and then now that I've done this, add a little bit of lightning. Oh, wow. It's just so much fun. At least for me it is. Like I said, these kind of games, I can never get enough of them. It's definitely not for everyone, though. So yeah, that's really my only weakness about this game is the traffic with the roads. Yeah. When you set it to live, yes. Which I have on right now, which is why I get the photorealistic satellite imagery. So that's scattered clouds. We've got broken clouds. I tend to like scattered. There's overcast. And then you can do flat out storm. See, when you do storm with really high precipitation, it really hinders your view. See that? Watch. It's a storm, but if I do precipitation the way it is by default, look at how you can't see anything in front of you. So I get rid of that precipitation just a little bit. Leave it around 1. That way it's a lot more bearable. Because look at that. Like, it looks so real. From where we are right now, you would think this is real life. Like, it's pretty incredible. Yeah, check it out, man. Game Pass, I think, is $1 on PC, which also covers the console because it's the ultimate version of Game Pass. $1 for 90 days. And this game is coming to console. So if you're unsure if it's your cup of tea, you should definitely save up $1. Definitely. Obviously, we can see a lot less this way, but I love storms a lot. And then you could see like where it opens up in the distance. I can even clean it up a little bit more. And how the clouds always forever change. I mean, I'm blown away. Overall, I am blown away by the game. So you can definitely find yourself losing quite a few hours in this game without being frustrated. PlayStation 5, PlayStation 3, Nintendo, the original from the 80s, Switch, PC, PSP. I think I still have a PS Vita laying around somewhere. But yeah, this is just a huge time sink. No real challenge per se unless you force yourself to do a challenge. Like learning how to land a plane in first person mode like this. That's definitely challenging. Let's see if the roads got a little bit better here. And the reason I like this airplane, by the way, it's because it's not too fast, and the sound of the engine isn't whiny and annoying like a lot of the other planes. Look at that, the formation of the clouds. Look how real that looks. Unreal. It's crazy. The clouds really do add to the immersion, to the overall experience. When you do clear skies, it's boring. It's like in real life when I go for a walk, if there's not a single cloud in the sky, I consider it a ruined day. Oops. Let's see if these roads are any better. Trying to figure out if it's everywhere around the world that's messed up or only certain parts. Well, this looks like an off-road. I don't know if that's how it really is in Australia, in this specific location. We're southeast of Darwin, Australia. And that's where we are. No, this is just me choosing it. I chose to have this just for... Because like I said, it looks very creepy. It's all dark. Then there's like some sections that opened up. It just looks awesome. Adding some lightning. You can see the clear skies in the distance. Whereas in real life, when you click on clear skies, look at that. That's boring. I hate when the world looks like that. There's absolutely nothing there. Or that other type of cloud that you see where it's called high-level clouds. Where you look outside and the clouds are like... They look like they're touching the moon. I hate that shit with a passion. Broken clouds, broken clouds can be good. Scattered is usually one of my favorites. And then I'll crank up the precipitation a little bit. Add some lightning. Right, I can even change the time of day. Like, look at that. See the stars and all that? That is some sick shit. Like, I'm sorry, but that is really cool. Yes, exactly. It just makes the world look nicer. Really. Yeah, like, to me, I could mess around with all those settings all day. And I've done that sometimes, literally spent a couple of hours just kind of doing stuff like this. It's relaxing. And that's what I'm into. Relaxing. Like, look at that. We could see. Let's add a little bit more lightning. Because now that it's dark, wow, look at that, eh? Obviously, you're going to notice it more now because it's dark out. Yeah. Some pretty wild shit. So, with all that said, it's easy to forgive the shitty traffic road designs and focus on the other stuff that it's good at doing. And then if I feel like there isn't enough clouds, you know, scattered, sometimes broken clouds are a little bit better. Scattered and broken, I mean, I know the difference, but it doesn't always completely look different. There we go, turn on the lights. Oh, and because I did that, it got rid of my lightning. There we go. Gotta have that lightning. Mind you, it is... Oh, am I in the middle of the ocean now? I can't even tell. Oh, no. Yeah, the lighting is really good. Anyhow. I have the damage turned off just for the fun of it. Because when you turn off the damage, the physics are pretty funny. Because you can just kind of plow right through the trees and everything. See what I mean? Then you can turn off the engine. Except now my plane's nosedived. Don't think I can recover it. No, it's done. Oh, Control E. Nope. Ah, well, whatever. But yeah, fun game. Definitely worth $1 for 3 months to see if your computer can handle it. Or if you've got like a Series S or a Series X, it's probably going to run pretty good on that. But yeah, I am going to take a break. I've been streaming for over an hour. Plus, there's only like 2 people in here now. Everybody's gone. But yeah. Definitely still one of my favorite games. Hey, Alfred, how's it going? Unfortunately, you met me at the end of the stream. It's too late for you. How you been? I am going to go play some more guitar, I think. Cool. Yeah, I'm just tired. Like I said, I like streaming. I really do. But as I've mentioned before, it is a little bit of a waste of time when I was spending like 99% of my free time streaming, right? But I will try to remain consistent with streaming at least on the weekends. I used to do it 7 days a week, 365 days a year, multiple times a day. I used to stream at 4 a.m., stream at lunchtime, supper time. You're in Texas. Nice. And it just became too much, honestly. And then I look at how many people are in the stream and I'm like, really? So, yeah. My channel's always done its best when I do tutorials or how-tos. Just casual, random gameplay of me just doing nothing. It's never amounted to anything, ever, at all. So that's why I stick to like gaming news and hey, did you hear? And, the new OLED Nintendo's coming out, like that kind of stuff, right? That's the sort of stuff that a lot of people are interested in hearing about, right? And the more people talk about it, the more you get the word out. So it brings knowledge to people. So the other thing too is a lot of the gaming YouTube channels that I find do really, really well, oftentimes they're not even playing any games. They're talking about games. They're talking about things that'll be coming out, but they don't actually play games. Those Let's Play channels, like the Rad Brad, that guy's awesome. But no offense, he's no better than anybody else I've ever seen. There's just something about him. He's pretty chill, laid back. But I've met tons of people like him. But he gets millions of views per video. Other people, including myself, get dozens of views a video, right? Because when you're just playing a game, what are you doing? Are you helping somebody make their gameplay experience any better? Nope. So you better hope the commentary is top notch or the gameplay is funny or something. Otherwise, what makes you any different than anybody else, right? But he's been at it for a long time when not a lot of people were doing it. So, like I said, I'm still trying to figure out sometimes what to do with my channel. Even after 2.5 years, I'm still not 100% sure what I want to stick with, what I want to stop doing, maybe do more of, and whatever. I'll figure it out in due time. I just know that my top 10 videos that have made me the most money, they're all how do you do this? How do you do that? Here's what you can do offline with Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Here's how you redeem your legacy pack for Hitman 2. Here's how you edit your lineup in NBA 2K. Here's how you download games in the background when your Xbox is turned off. Literally, that video alone made me $850. It took me a minute and a half. A lot of people would love making $900 a minute, right? Obviously, if I could keep making videos like that, I would, but there has to be something out there for me to talk about. And that's why, in the meantime, most of my shit on my channel is filler content to keep the algorithm on YouTube satisfied. The more I stream, the more I do this bullshit of having two people in a stream. You might be surprised. Right now, in this very moment, Google is saying, hey, that bald prick, he's active. Sure, he's got two people in his live stream. That doesn't matter. Let's bring him up the algorithm. Oh, he's been slacking for a long time. They might actually bring you down the algorithm. So now when people are looking up my most viewed videos that have hundreds of thousands of views, those videos are more likely to get even more views now because I just live streamed. You see how that works? That's something that you have to keep in mind if you ever want to become a YouTuber. I want to leave you with these words of wisdom from someone with two people in his fucking live stream when he has over 16,000 subscribers. The performance might not be there, but I has the fucking knowledge, right? A lot of it is luck too. Like I said, I've met people that suck a lot more than I do. A lot more than I do. And they're getting thousands of people in your stream. So don't let you doing not that good on YouTube make you think that it's a reflection that you're not actually doing good, right? You're about to eat soon. I missed what you just said before. I had to help my family with some stuff. Oh, no, that's cool. Again, I forget. I'm sorry. I know the other person said I'm usually in here. I've been in here for months. I just don't comment a lot. Was that you or was that somebody else? There was somebody else, or it might have been you that said that. I forget if you're new or you said you're usually here, but you just normally don't comment. Now you're all over the place. Yeah, Ghost Recon Wildlands is an awesome game. I still play that game to this very day. Yeah. Anyhow, it is what it is. During the weekday, it still stands. If I do stream, it'll always be around supper time. It'll always be between, like 5 and 6 o'clock Eastern time if I do end up streaming. So if someone's crazy enough and they're bored and they're like, I wonder if that bald pumpkin head is on. Yeah, sure. Hop in quickly between 5 and 6, Monday to Friday, see if I'm there. Weekends, unfortunately, because of my life, I do very random things, play guitar, I work out, mow the lawn. Plus, I also do have some health issues too. I have some terrible migraines. I have like chronic migraines, like often. And that will absolutely affect me. Like, I need to explain to anybody who's ever had like a nasty headache. There's a nasty headache, and then there's migraines where it's so debilitating, you feel like you're going to throw up. You feel like you're going to die. It is one of the most debilitating things I have ever gone through in my life. And in the last 2 years, if you're curious, in the last 2 years? Yeah, about 2 years. I've had more headaches in the last 2 years than I have had in the last 43 years. What's changed? Who knows? I'm in better shape now. I exercise more. I eat healthier. But that's not always the end all be all, right? So that plays a huge part as to why sometimes I'm kind of sporadic with the time. I can't always guarantee I'm going to be here at this time, right? I unfortunately can't. But I've been pretty good with it. Mauricio says, Phil, have been absent, looking for a job, but I still continue a fan of yours. For me, the quality of your conversation surpasses the most of all the other YouTubers. Well, thank you very much. If only I had millions of people that thought like you, I would be rich. I would be so rich, I'd be able to buy everybody in here a PS5 and an Xbox Series X. Maybe someday that could happen. Just hopefully there isn't 3,000 people in my stream, because that would be a shit ton of fucking money to be spending. But yeah. Well, thank you. Yeah, I haven't been around too much either. And that's the thing, too, that's really confusing. Like from a psychological point, before I actually end the stream, yeah, there's a few people in here. I'll say one last thing. You gotta be humble, and I'll be very humble. I get I'm not the most entertaining person in the world, but I know for a fact I'm also not the worst one in the world either. It can be really baffling or defeating when you try so hard at something and you really give it your all. You invest $1,000 on a microphone and an audio interface so you can have pristine quality sound, because that is the first thing that people will notice is what you sound like. Proper lighting, nice camera, having a backdrop so there isn't like too much going on in the background. I call that visual noise. It can be distracting. You could do all those things. You can have a half decent personality, and you still just might not click with people. But just remember, it doesn't mean you suck, but it can mean that your luck sucks. I have seen some YouTubers out there that would blow you away. You'd be like, holy shit. Wow, how long's that guy been around? Did he just start his channel today? He's got 3,000 subs. Did he just start? Yeah, he's been around, 6 years. He streams 4 fucking times a day. Guy's got like Hollywood studio, effects and everything, just unbelievable. Wicked personality. The guy averages as many people as I do on a live stream. We've talked about it in private and laughed. It's just the way it is. And then you'll watch some people like Wings of Redemption, for example, who are people that, with all due respect, aren't really talented, they're not special, they're not appreciative of their supporters, but yet are successful. That's just the way it is. Thank you, Fizzy. Take it easy, and maybe I'll see you next time. Oh, so in closing with all that I was saying, I have to admit it is confusing. For the few people that do watch me, it's usually always the same people, usually. So there's got to be something there. So I always joke around and say if there's 5 to 10 people that want to watch you month after month, year after year stream every single time, 10 people, why can't there be 20 people? Why can't there be 40 people? And that is a logical way of looking at things. And then you'll actually see at the end of your stream, oh, I had 3 new subscribers from this stream right here, 3 new subscribers. Then the next day, another 2, another 5, another 6. And it adds up. Then you're getting hundreds of new subscribers a month from your live streams alone. They know your personality. They see how you talk and all that, and they're okay with that. But yet, that's how many of them come back. I have to admit, it is pretty baffling, more than anything. But it is what it is. That's why I mainly do it for fun. You have to, or, you know. But like I've said, and I was honest with before, it does help when there's money involved. I mean, nobody really YouTubes full time, not expecting to make a dime from it, right? Like, it's so the people that'll say, "Oh, I just do this for fun," and they're doing it hours a day. Oh, I'm just doing it for fun. Yeah, you're doing it for fun. You're getting hundreds of thousands of views a video. That's like $500,000 a video. Yeah, of course that's fun. But would you still be having that enthusiasm if you had 2 people in your live stream after you've been doing this shit for almost 2 years? That's when you really find out if somebody's doing it for the fun of it. Like I promise you, anybody who's been following me for the past year and a half since I streamed, they don't have a choice but to believe me when I tell you I'm doing this for fun. Nowhere in my mind do I think I'm miraculously going to wake up one day and that 8 in the live stream is going to turn to an 80 or an 800. Right? So, anyways. Yeah, plus YouTube success doesn't reflect real. It's kind of contradicting. I don't even know how to word this properly. Don't let YouTube success be a reflection of the quality of that success. So you can watch a guy with millions of subs, millions of views per video, but you could be taken back at how shit the quality of the content can be. And I always go back to Wings of Redemption only because most people know him. And he's someone that I truly don't think takes this seriously, but yet he's successful on YouTube. I will probably never be half of what Wings of Redemption is, but he's got no lighting. He's got a shitty microphone, a shitty camera. Everything's fuzzy. He's got a bunch of crap in the background. He's always complaining. He's always throwing shit all over the place, right? So the actual quality of the content is crap. He very rarely ever engages with the people in his stream, and he's subpar at gaming. But yet he's successful, right? Then you'll look at someone who's got good lighting. I'm not talking about me now. I'm saying like other people out there that'll have like good lighting, good microphones, good setup, and all that. And they will never be anything. It's just the way it is. Success is temporary. I have tasted it. And be sure the friends tend to shrink in numbers when you are out of the loop. You are good. Be sure of it. Thank you. Oh, yeah, and that's true too, because in the real world, before I was on disability, I know I keep going on. I'm like, I got to go now, but I do. But yeah, even in the real world. So I'm 42 years old. I'm going to be 43 in a couple of months. And yeah, I'm on disability. I've got some issues, right? Well, how well do you think that flies with some people when you meet them? Whether they're your ex-friends or you're trying to meet a new lady friend or something like that. Hi, I'm 43 and I'm unemployed. I play video games on YouTube and I make a couple $100 a month. Oh, where do I meet that guy? Right? And that is the honest to God truth. It's not self-depreciation. It's the honest to God truth. That is the world that we live in. But when I was 15 years old, 16 years old, had a car and a lot of money, It's funny how I had a lot of people around me. Everyone wanted to hang out with me. Well, of course they did. I had a nice car. I had a booming stereo system. I had the Chiquitas in the car. Of course they want to hang out with me. But once things didn't go well upstairs for me mentally and things started to go downhill, as the money went down the hill, as my car went bye bye, funny enough, almost like an instant magic trick, so did the people. And that's life. Very rarely will you have people stick around. And that's how shallow people are. I've had people tell me to my face, friends I've been with for over a decade, back when I was like in my mid 20s, early 30s, they would joke around and be like, dude, man, if you're in your 40s and you're still on that fucking disability shit, we can't be friends. But the one main guy who told me that, as rude as it might sound, I knew he was coming from a good place, as much as that might sound messed up, because what he used to tell me is you're better than that, you're worth more than that, but sometimes you also have to face reality. Sometimes people aren't well enough to be able to work. You might not see it just watching and talking to someone for a couple of hours. And that was the thing with him, is he couldn't see it. He goes, when I look at you, when I hang out with you, I don't see you as being disabled. And I'm like, and that's the problem with society. Being disabled doesn't always have a look to it, right? So he knew it was legit. It's not like you can fake it. It's not like you go to your doctor and go, yeah, I'm lazy. I don't want to work. So if you just want to fill that right there, line 23, yeah, that would be swell. Doesn't work that way, but there's fucking idiots out there that think that that's how it works. So he didn't think that. He knew it was legit, but he admitted, he goes, I get you've got shit, and okay, but he goes, but I don't see it. He goes, I know it's real, but I don't see it. He goes, if this shit goes on in another 10 years, and lo and behold, I haven't spoken to him in about 7 or 8 years. Literally. Never spoke to each other ever again. The people are out there. It's fucked. Very, very screwed up. And for some people, that can screw you up mentally. Because when it happens with too many people, you can sometimes look at yourself and wonder, well, what's wrong with me? It wasn't just one or two people that turned their backs on me. It was almost everybody but one person. And then the one person who didn't turn their back on you, you'll think they're crazy. Because they're like, why is this guy sticking around? Why is that girl sticking around? Nobody else is. But the reality is, it's all the other people that are just fucking shallow pricks. That's it. Simple as that. So, anyhow. I talk a lot. I get that. So that'll be it for now. It's Sunday, I think. I don't keep tracks of the days of the week, but I think it's Sunday. Maybe, like I said, throughout the week, between 5 and 6, that'll still be the schedule, between 5 and 6 p.m. Eastern, if I do end up streaming. But I will probably try and keep it to just the weekends, like maybe even Friday night sometimes, or Saturday, Sunday around like lunchtime. Maybe that'll sort of be like the new schedule, if you will, and see how that goes. And that will give me a little bit more extra time to maybe try and focus on my channel a bit more. Maybe to try to find some new things I can talk about to, quite honestly, make more money. I'm not going to lie. To see if I can do better. So yeah, thanks for stopping by, for whoever is left in here. And perhaps I will see you sooner than later.